Well, hi, everybody, and thanks for joining our webinar today. This is Bruce Collins. I'm a Director of Product Management at Cambium Networks. I'm joined today by Gopal Mishra, who is a Technical Architect on cnMaestro. And today's presentation is going to cover particularly using cnMaestro, but particularly using our cnReach Industrial IoT platform. So this is a new capability in cnMaestro, and cnReach is one of our newer product lines within the Cambium portfolio. So it's an exciting expansion of the capability of cnMaestro. And we know that a lot of the industrial customers we talk to are quite interested in this capability. So the way the webinar is going to work today is I'm going to give you a brief introduction to what this is all about, and then I'm going to hand it over to Gopal, who will take us through effectively a demonstration of cnMaestro, but using some screens taken from actual systems. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Just to set the context, when we talk about industrial IoT, Cambium Networks is looking at certain slices of our portfolio. So we talk about different pieces of the portfolio that are particularly well suited to industrial applications. And many of these are supported today with cnMaestro, and as you'll see today, we're adding cnReach to that capability. So I'll kind of give you a state of play where we are right now. In the industrial space, we talk about PTP820 as a licensed microwave solution. We have in the sub-6 gigahertz for backhaul and spurs, point-to-point links. We have our PTP650 and PTP450i. Now the 820 and the 650 will have cnMaestro capability added later this year. But what is available today in cnMaestro is our PTP450i and our PMP450i platform that is used for video surveillance, local access, and aggregation. Of course, we have our cnPilot, specifically the E500, which is an outdoor Wi-Fi access hotspot. This is great for providing access to Wi-Fi for the tradescraft or tradespeople around a location in a remote area, or even to overlay for office access. And that is supported, of course, in cnMaestro. And then finally, cnReach, which is our SCADA process control and monitoring application, and that is used, again, we're introducing that now with the ability to manage that with cnMaestro. The cnReach platform itself, I'll give you just a brief couple slides on that, just to kind of set the context before we dig into the actual management of it. Effectively, when we look at cnMaestro, it's a narrowband platform, which means it's really tailored towards high reliability, high security, but relatively low capacity links. So in this case, we have our point-to-point and point-to-multipoint, and we also have store and forward relay applications. We have, so you can use the same device as both a point-to-point, a point-to-multipoint, or a relay. It has built-in optional analog and digital I/O, and it's available in several different frequency bands. It's available in the U.S. and the CALA region with 900 megahertz. Is also 900 megahertz is available in Australia, New Zealand, some other places around the world. It's also available in the U.S. in 700 megahertz, which is a licensed spectrum, and then also in a 406 to 430 and 450 to 470 megahertz, which is available in many parts of the world. Different slices of that are available, and we're starting to ship that here at the end of this month. The radio can also be configured with dual radios, so that module can have one radio in it, or it can have two radios in it, and we'll touch on that and how Maestro takes that into account. The product is particularly well suited for these industrial environments because it's been designed to operate over that wide temperature range with the HAZLOT capabilities for oil and gas applications. It's also built around secure applications, so it has the 128 and 256 AES encryption, as well as secure management interfaces and many features that are meant to prevent cybersecurity threats. And of course, the extensive management capability, which is really a new capability in many of these industrial applications. where traditionally these have been serial-only radios with very limited management capabilities. And with this product, we'll be able to do both, because it's an IP product, we can move to IP-based management techniques. So there is a web interface, and then also we'll be talking about the Maestro application. So some of the deployment topologies, we have just waiting for the screen to refresh here. I'm getting reports that some people are having, it's being kind of slow to refresh. But the deployment topology you'll see in this picture when it loads is the ability to do point-to-point links, point-to-multipoint links, as well as store and forward repeater links. And in the upper left is a picture of a point-to-point device. And the nice thing about it is it's the exact same radio that does point-to-point and point-to-multipoint. And then with that dual radio, which is what you see in the lower middle of the picture, is what we call a back-to-back repeater. And that's where I can take a dual radio module. I can have one radio pointing east and one radio pointing west and do a back-to-back repeater. So I don't lose capacity when I go through that repeater link, but I'm able to still extend these for long distances. So this would be very useful in like a pipeline application or reaching a remote area that is a very difficult terrain to get from the SCADA master out to the location where I want to put the process control. So some of the physical interfaces on the radio, one of the capabilities of radios has many different types of connectivity. So if you look at the front of the radio, it has 2 serial ports and 2 Ethernet ports. So this is a excellent tool for migrating from serial-only networks over to IP-based networks. So you've got 2 serial ports. They can operate with RS-232, 422, or RS-485. You'll see on the left of the device there's that green connector. This is the ability to add 8 ports of analog or digital I/O. And then you'll also see on the right-hand side the 2 silver connectors. That's where you can have 1 or 2 radio modules fitted into this device. So of course there's a web-based interface, but we're going to focus today on the ability to manage this device with cnMaestro. So I'll give you a very brief introduction to cnMaestro for those that aren't familiar with what it's all about, and then I'm going to hand it over to Gopal here in just a moment for his presentation. So we really look at cnMaestro across the portfolio as a network lifecycle management tool, and that means it really is meant to cut across all of the different product lines, everything from long-distance point-to-point links, point-to-multipoint access layer, as well as the Wi-Fi for both hotspot, indoor and outdoor coverage, and cnReach for the IIOT narrowband application. When we look at cnMaestro across the different life cycle, it's really meant to support, today it's primarily around network management, inventory management, and then you'll see some exciting news today about its ability as a Wi-Fi controller as well, in some other announcements coming from Cambium. But also down the road, we see integration of planning tools and planning exercises and applications, as well as support and warranty services. So really this becomes the complete tool for end-to-end network lifecycle management. And the cnMaestro is available in both a cloud-based solution as well as a on-premises-based solution. So we'll talk about that in a little more detail. But effectively, devices are built with a device agent inside, and that device agent goes out and finds the cnMaestro server. So the communications actually starts from the device, extends out over HTTPS to the server, whether I'm talking to the cloud server or a local on-premises server. And that means that I can access the the devices can access the server without having to punch holes in the firewall. So it's a much more secure application, secure architecture. It also means that you can get access to the system anywhere from a standard web browser and use that in the start of the edge. So very easy, and start playing with radios that you might. So we'll talk a little bit about the cloud deployment. This is built on Amazon Web Services. So we have tens of thousands of devices being managed today from our ePMP line, from our Wi-Fi line, from PMP 450, and now so that's been very successful. It's very reliable. Customers like this because they don't have to worry about upgrading the software. They don't have to worry about maintaining servers, doing backups. It's all managed up in the cloud, and it's very convenient to let that all happen and be taken care of without your own IT personnel. For those that are not ready to go to the cloud yet, we offer the on-premises deployment. This is effectively the same functionality as the cloud service, but it can be loaded on a virtual machine on a server within your own premises. So it's an alternative to the cloud-based that some customers just prefer that more traditional server farm or server deployment architecture. I'll go briefly because I want to get over to Gopal as quickly as I can here, but effectively we're looking at being able to support large numbers of users. As I mentioned, we have tens of thousands of devices already under management, and the system is architected to support hundreds of thousands of devices. You can get access to it from any standard web browser, and you'll see the capabilities of this continue to grow over time. So, also, when you log into cnMaestro, there's a number of hot links on the side. You'll see that in the image there. There's a number of links to both online help as well as support. You can go to our community and get more additional help, and there's a number of how-to videos on that as well. So let me bring Gopal off mute here and introduce him to the audience. Gopal is our technical architect of cnMaestro, so he's an expert in how the system works. He's been intimately involved with integrating cnReach into the device. So Gopal, thanks for joining today, and I'm going to hand it over to you and let you take us through the rest of the material.
Yeah, thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Hello, everybody. So today we are going to discuss on below topic, how to onboard a cnReach device to our cnMaestro, and how to organize your system and network and your devices under a network, how to monitor your network, and how to manage device password from cnMaestro, how to manage your alarms and events of cnReach devices, and how to debug from cnMaestro, and how to manage this your NOC environment. So, okay. So there are various ways to onboard a cnReach device to our cnMaestro. First is before I'll little bit talk about how the NOC you can create in your laptop or anywhere for testing purpose. We have a release of OVA file. One is that OVA file version is 2.0.0. You can install this OVA file. You have to download a Oracle virtual workstation, which is available free. You can install in your laptop and add this OVA, import this OVA to the virtual box. It will start working, and you have to configure the RAM and core and the IP address of the OVA file so that you can access the cnMaestro UI. So once that is configured, this is the prerequisite. You have to configure either in Oracle virtual machine or EXSI server or VMware. These are all various players are available in the market where we can configure the OVA file. So once it is configured, then you can claim the cnReach device to our cnMaestro. So first approach is using the static URL. So once you configure the cnMaestro, there will be a URL through which you can access the cnMaestro, and that is nothing but the VM IP address. What are the VM IP address on which the OVA file has been configured? So that using that IP, you can access the cnMaestro UI. That IP you have to provide in the device. Using that IP, you can claim the device to our cnMaestro. Second approach is using, so the devices are getting, cnReach devices are getting from DHCP server. So in the DHCP server, you can configure 43 option as well as 15 option. There you can configure our cnMaestro URL. That is nothing but IP address. It will, whenever a device acquire a IP, he will be our DA will be have capability to understand the option 43 and 15 and get the IP address and connect to cnMaestro. Third approach is, these two approaches are there, and fourth point is, you can, once it is connected to the cnMaestro, you can approve the onboarded devices. Yeah, can you move to next? Yeah, can you move to? Okay.
Yeah, the slides are updating a little slow here, so I'll let you know when it updates here, Gopal. And also to the audience, if you have any questions for Gopal or any questions about the product whatsoever, just go ahead and type them in the chat window, and we'll be able to take those questions as they come in. Apologize for some of the technical difficulties we're having this morning. Let's see if we can get that to refresh.
So most of that are generally you configure your devices through, I think, DHCP. So if it is DHCP server, it is very easy. Just you have to configure the IP address. All the devices which are acquiring IP address from the DHCP server will able to connect to our cnMaestro. That is zero touch onboarding. This is a good thing which you can use most of the time. If anything, you want to have a static URL, so it takes time to load.
Yeah, we're still having some issues here. Let me see if we're having, I think we're having network issues. Apologies while we try to get this sorted out.
Yeah, I have.
Why don't I try to make you the presenter? Let me see if I can make you the presenter, and then you can show this if it refreshes any faster.
Sure.
Oh, are you presenting? You have the slides on your machine? I've just made you the presenter.
Are you able to see my screen?
Now we can see it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I apologize to everyone on the bridge here. We'll have some.
Okay. Okay. Give me 1 minute. Okay. So prerequisition of on. So cnMaestro build version, the OS version, the O version will be 2.0, and cnReach device, the OS version will be 5.2.15. Using this version only, device can onboard to cnMaestro server. And there is a link in our support center where you have the details of how to configure your OVA file and how to configure your device, as well as how to communicate your net, how to view your network and how to monitor your network, how to manage your network. These all things are there in on-premises user guide. And this is the device screen, which you can see. So it has Ethernet firmware. The minimum version is 5.2.15. It gives the basic information about our cnReach device. So how to claim the cnReach device to cnMaestro using static URL? In the device UI, under cnMaestro device management, there is an option cnMaestro URL. You need to configure the static IP address of cnMaestro in this column, and once you fill this IP address and commit, the cnMaestro cnReach device to connect to the cnMaestro. Zero touch onboarding using DSCP option 43 and 15. In this option, user need not to configure all the devices, the static URL. Only the static IP address of cnMaestro need to be configured in DSCP option, either 43 or 15. Any of the option is configured with our cnMaestro IP address, the device will be able to come and connect to our cnMaestro using this DSCP option 43 and 15. And a device, the cnReach devices which are connected to our, onboarded to our cnMaestro will be available in home onboard device page. So that page is available in this section. So all the onboarding cnReach devices to cnMaestro can be viewed in this section. This will give the detail about the device and its status. And also there are certain sections are there where you can configure the longitude, latitude, and device IP address, and also you can push a configuration template. You can configure the password and also software upgrade. Software upgrade is not available in this phase. Second phase it will be there, but from cnMaestro that option is also there. And then once the device has reached to cnMaestro, and the state will be always available in waiting to approval. So you need the user has to approve this device, have to press the approve button to approve this device, and once it is approved, it will be connect to the cnMaestro and will be available to monitor the device in cnMaestro. So clicking on approval button on board to the cnMaestro, user can configure the device name, location, information, and before clicking the approval button. Before we click the approval button, the device minimum basic configuration can be configured under the configuration. There are 4 options are there. You can edit or you can configure the name or longitude, latitude or configuration template. So once the device is onboarded to our device after approval, the device will be available under this tree. This tree is available in left side of our screen. So to make the device in a hierarchy, you can define your own network and you can define your own tower. Under the tower, you can place a device. Under the network also, you can place a device. So to make it, you can on the right button, there are 3 buttons. Whenever hover it on the system, you will see 3 buttons. You can click on it and you can add a network. When you say add a network, you can define your own network name, my network, and just add it. That will be available under the system. And you want to define set of tower under a network, you have to select the 3 buttons which are available on over, you will be visible, and click on that. You can have a add tower option. Using that add tower, you can see the add tower screen. There the network name comes by default. The name has to be provided, the tower name, and also you can configure your own longitude, latitude, so that all the devices which are not having defined their longitude or latitude, they can be placed, configured with the same longitude and latitude what the tower is, and will be placed in, will be added to the cnMaestro. You can also click on the map and define the longitude, latitude. You can change. So to monitor our cnReach devices, in cnMaestro, there are various views. One is hierarchical view, that is the tree view, which I have just showed previously. So this is the tree view. And in the tree view, you can know what are the hierarchy as defined, like network, tower, and another tower, whether the device topology, like AP, EP, and its REP, this kind of configurations. Sorry. Okay, this is one is the tree view, and another one is device dashboard, where in the dashboard the minimum information will be available about the radio, about the health of the device and its parent information, or and tower, its parent tower, where it belongs, and also the children information, how many children it has connected. And the third view is performance view, where you can see the periodic information, like every 5 minutes we have the information from the device, like its throughput or its RSSI values. These information every 5 minutes we are keeping in cnMaestro, where you can view as a graph, And static view, it will give all the children information related to its throughput or the current information. The statistics view will contain only the current view of all the devices under a tower or network or a system or a device level. Device can have also children. The children information also will be available in the static view. So performance view will have 2 kind of information. One is we are holding 5 minutes interval of data per day. That is last 24 hours, and there is hourly interval of data per week. We are holding maximum of 1 week of data. This can be configured. Okay, how the tree is, our hierarchy is, always the top level information is the system. System level will give the overall information about the network, how many cnReach devices are connected and how many devices are offline and how many are online. And also it gives the information about you can see in the top bar, there is how many alarms are there, major alarms and critical alarms. It gives the count. And also the hierarchy is system. Then under the system there will be a network. It can be set of networks, and under each network there can be set of tower, and under a tower there can be a access point, and under the access point there can be an endpoint. So based on the topology, it can be a PTP or PTMP. It can be any configuration of hierarchy. So and under the endpoint or any endpoint, it can have a IO expander. So the IO expander will be connected to endpoint. Any query, please write it so that I'll try to explain. Current dashboard view is this way. So you can see in the top, title will contain what is your device name, and if it is a dual radio, it is dual radio cnReach device. Then the slash differentiate the first radio and second radio. First radio here it's a PTP slave, and second radio is the AP. So one is the PTP slave, one is the PTP slave, that is, and one is the master as a AP, PMP AP. So you can see there are three views: radio 1, radio 2, and its motherboard. So this will contain this information. When I click on the radio 2 or radio 1 tab, it will briefly explain about its children's and about the device status, as well as in the status also have the information for a last week, how many times it was up and how many times it was down. The outage information.
Well, there's a question here about how does the user have to define that hierarchy in Maestro, or does it auto discover that somehow?
Hierarchy, yeah. So as I have explained this one, so whenever device onboard, you can configure the hierarchy in the onboarding page. So there was a page, I'll go to that page.
So I think the question was really on that, where you've got you have a module with 2 radios in it. It automatically discovers that there's the 2 radios, and that one's a point-to-point and one's an access point.
Yes, automatically detect. Yeah, sorry to my understanding. Yeah, it has the radio 1 and radio 2 will be auto detected. Our DA is having because cnReach we are having a DA, and DA is capable of sending both the radio information, and from both the radio information we are able to decide what is the network type and the mode and what is the state of the radio. These all information we are able to find out. So based on that we saw how many radios it is and each radio information. Am I address your I'm able to answer your question, right?
Yeah, I think that catches it. If you have further questions, go ahead and put them into the chat window, and we can take those as they come in if we didn't answer that question completely. But you can go ahead and go next.
Yeah, sure. Right. Yeah. Okay, so so you can see the dashboard screen. It has multiple tabs. So I'm just the highlighted tab is radio 2 AP. You can see it is a PTP AP, and PTMP AP, and the device status showing it is around 4 days, 11 hours, 37 minutes. It was up. That means it is connected. The device is up for 4 days, 11 hours, and 37 minutes. And the offline last week bar is 1 week status about how many time device was gone down and up. So this status generally, if you see a bar, that means there is some outage in our devices during that day, last week day. So these are 7 days, and you can over on it to know the time and date also, what exactly the date is. And also this, as it is a PTMP AP, it have its children's, like it can be a EP or REP children's. So total 3 devices are connected to this radio. I can say neighbors. Neighbors can be a parent as well as children's, but here we are showing only the down children's. So 3 children are connected to this radio. And device health generally specify about the dual radio. One is PTP, which is nothing but PTP slave. You can see the tab. And second is the AP. And what is the device name? How the network? You can see the right side one round chart is there, and in that the tower is mentioned. What is the health of the? It can be partially red and partially green if some of the devices are disconnected. And there are, if you go, if the tab AP is selected, under the AP, the 3 children state, all the 3 devices are up. And overall, the tower related subtree status, it shows 7 devices are connected and all the 7 are up. So it can give also a partial, so some places the children status can be all up, and if the subtree also having some devices are down, there you can see again the red information, and that tell that how much percentage of devices are down. It will give in a percentage. And the radio information specifically gives the status, where it's enabled or disabled, and what is MAC interface, which interface it is connected, and software version, model, what is it, say AP mode or PTP AP modes, master or slave, and the network type is PTMP, TX power, RSSI, its margin, and the noise, average noise, as well as temperature. And there is a throughput calculation. This is per second, kilobits per second, from between the uplink as well as downlink also throughput. And in the second, there are few more information in the dashboard. One is, I'll go to next phase. 1 second, it hung. Oh, it is not going forward. Okay, so the next thing is the partial information which I have shown earlier. This is the partial, and there is 2 more information. One is dashboard will contain current weekly usage, which will be in a MB or kilobyte or megabyte. So currently you can see 66.63 megabyte the usage is, and the graph will tell every weekly wise, per a week the data is, so you can day wise you can see the, so each bar is separated with 2 things. One is uplink and downlink. The usage you can see based on the downlink and uplink also. You can enable or disable one of it to see only the uplink or downlink. There is a throughput graph. This is the graph, periodic graph, where per week it will give information, and this also gives the uplink and downlink throughput data. And the left, right side, you can see top active alarms. Currently it is blank. If any devices are down or any kind of critical alarms or major alarms, this can be viewed here. So there are 3 tabs. One is radio, 2 types of if it is a radio device, radio 1, radio 2 will be one similar kind of data, and there will be a motherboard. Motherboard will give the overall information about the device, its MAC, IP address, serial number, the device serial number, and its product name if any configured, and its model also. So here you can see that the model information, whether it's 900 megahertz, 700 megahertz, with the model number you can come to know, and what is the current software version the OS has, cnReach OS is, and where is the location and how many devices are connected, total devices are connected to this device. So that is the neighbors. This is currently showing 2. The performance view I have already shown. This is the there is a daily wise in the dashboard. So there are two kind of data. Very earlier I have mentioned, one is 5 minutes interval of data, that is we are holding for date, that is 24-hour max. So we have we have segregated to a 4 zoom level. One is 4-hour data, 12-hour data, and last 24-hour data. So all this tab zoom level, when you select, you will see 5 minutes interval of resolution of data, and where you select the 1 week data, the resolution is 1 hour and it will be for 1 week. So this is here we are capturing for 4 kind of information. One is throughput, and there you can see again 2 tab. One is radio 1 and radio 2 if it is a dual radio. If it is a single radio, there will be an option. It will be only for that radio only. And if it is a so there is 4 tab, one throughput and RSSI. RSSI also will have the same option, radio 1, radio 2, same as the TX power and noise. These are all will give the periodic graphs in KV, and so throughput gives in the kbps, and dBm, RSSI, and TX power also given dB. So this kind of information is available in performance graph. To know more detail about the device, there are 4 or 5 sections we have. The system information, which will give more detail about the device, its coordinates, description, hardware version, DA version, and model information. And also we have a network section where we give the LAN MAC and the IP address, current IP address. And we have a radio section which have more, a little bit additional information than the dashboard. Here we'll have enable MAC, mode, network type, TX power, software versions, RSSI, room temperature, parent, its parent MAC to whom it is connected, if it is a EP, endpoint or a REP, its parent information also gives here, and also uplink throughput and downlink throughput, radio wise information. You can see 2 columns are available. And one more tab is that is a software upgrade that is not available in this phase, second phase level. But another one is the configuration update. Configuration update is that you can change the password from using our configuration jobs. That will come in the later slides.
Yeah. Well, just to give you I guess one question came in, and then also just a time check. We have about 10 or 12 minutes to complete. And then the question was really, and then the question was, is there a way for this information, like the performance and statistics, to be passed up to a northbound interface or to another server that wants to collect that at a higher level?
Yes. So if I understand the hierarchical level, you want whether you have the performance information, right?
Yeah, like overall, like a manager of managers or a network management device being able to pull the information out of Maestro.
Right. Yeah. So there are two ways. So you can see this hierarchical level, right? We have tower, network, this system, right? Any level you can pull this information, but there are not there is limited things. You don't aggregate everything for all the information in the it's a means group of devices. We are not aggregating for every level. We are for device level we are having this kind of information, but there are some statistical information like device down. We are aggregating how many devices are connected in under a tower or your network or system. So that there are very minimal information there. So also you can collect this another way you can collect this performance information over a CSV file and aggregate that information on the outside of cnMaestro. Are you getting my point?
Oh yeah, that's good. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So there are 2 more information for cnReach. We have one is the interface, what are the interface available under the cnReach device, and also one more tab is the neighbor information. Who are the neighbors connected to this device? And in the statistical view, as I mentioned earlier, you can see radio-wise, its children connected, and also there are various views. One is a general, one is the radio information, and another one is like we have uplink, and so there are three. If you see three tabs, one is the radio information, general information. First one is general information. Second one is the radio information, particular radio things, and third is the like throughput and usage at all. So that information will be available. And also you can, whatever you are seeing in the grid, you can also export to a CSV or a PDF file. The same view, same data, whatever available in this grid. And also you can increase, if too many children are there, you can increase the item per page to from 10 to max, I think 25 to 100, I think is. So cnMaestro also capturing the events and alarms from cnReach device. So what are the events are available currently is like device, how many times the outage of the device is, and any configuration change happens in device, that events are available. And there are various ways of to view these alarms and events. So we have two different section. One is active alarm and another one is historical alarms. And third page is the events. Out of always we get this information, active alarms are all the alarms are generated over events, particular set of events or a single events. And also you can export these events and alarms from cnMaestro. So active alarms, here you can see lot of devices are gone down. If has gone down, then this kind of message will be available. Device is offline since this many hour, and what is the status of this event. If it is active, then it will be active state. If it is active, we need to take action, like we need to debug whether the device, why the device is outage, whether it is unplugged, or we can rectify it by solving the network issues. Once the device comes and connect, this alarms will be inactive and will not be existing for 5 minutes. So the historical alarms which are inactive will be available as well as also active, but it depends on the size. It depends on whether it is active or inactive. It does not depend. Historical data will have both the information. You can also search this graph shows per week data. You can click on any bar to know during that time, during that day, what are the alarms was raised. So that can be, and what are the alarms was active and what are the alarms was inactive. Both will be available by clicking on a certain bar from the graph. Events, generally the events are as it is what we receive from the device, cnReach device. So if it is if the device went online, we address it as online. If the configuration changed, we store it as a configuration changed on certain time. So these are the, so if the alarm has been now exist as a device is offline, there will be a active alarm. If the device is online, the active alarm will be inactive. So you can configure the device password. You can configure group of devices or a single device to change the password from cnMaestro. The steps are as below. You have to go to first create a template from cnMaestro, that what are the password you want to configure. I'll just show the screen. So the template will be like this. There are different mode of devices. The AP, it can be EP or REP. You can address to certain type of devices, and also you can define the name of the template. Then you can define description to what are you trying to change. And here you can see there are three sections. One is admin password. Admin password can be configured the read-only user password as well as administrator user password. You can change here, and once this template is ready, once this configuration has been done, you have to save this template to cnMaestro. And once it is saved, then you have to go to the devices, select the devices. This can be available in system level, all the hierarchical level, tower level, network level, and device level. When you go to the device level, a single device is configured to update the password. When you use the tower level, you can select, so there you will see in the grid, select all devices or a set of devices. You can select one by one also. If you want to select a few devices out of the under a tower or system, you can select, you can check, there is a checkbox in the grid. So you have to select the template and select the corresponding cnReach devices. Then also you have to check the select the option start job now. This will, when you enable this one, it will automatically start as soon as you add this configuration job. And also there is a segregation, like you can allow five devices in a parallel to be push the configuration. Suppose 20 devices are there. If you allow only 5, then in 4 phase it will be post the configuration template to cnReach devices, and it will be applied. Once the this configuration, when you say applied this configuration, the device will have 3 stages. First, it will take this job configuration password changes, apply this password changes, then reboot the password changes and come up. When it come up again, the user will be requested to log in the password which has been changed. So current in the first phase 1, we have very few information in tools to debug. We have only a reboot option, which is action. You can you can divide, you can go to any device and you can see a red button here on the top corner of right corner of this table box. There it will display the device name and what are the state, whether it is a down and how many alarms are there, and what is the device type, and what is the throughput also. These all information will be available in this, and how the link is. And you can also do a reboot from this, and you can have both the radio will have its own parent and child information. If the radio one is the AP, like here it is a slave, so it is showing its master information, the master and its slave. If the radio 2 is the AP, it will be showing only that device, not this children's. Children can be many if it is a PT command. And it also show the status. You can see the link. This one, the master is down, but the parent connected to the master is up. This is the state of the link. And you can manage. So whenever the cnMaestro over file is added to a VM, imported to a VM, you can view per week how the master server is behaving, what is the CPU usage, how it is, what is the memory usage. These are also how to troubleshoot. And there are major things also. If some issue happen, there is also a tech dump support where you can download the tech dump and send us so that we can analyze what exactly problem happened in your macro. And also you can manage, you can create multiple administration users, and also you can diagnose by changing different levels. That all will come. So there is 3 things. One is monitoring. In the monitoring, CPU utilize VM and CPU load, memory usage, and CPU jump, as well as its swap memory also will be available in the down, and also the disk usage. Disk usage is Pika. Here you can also see the same base. There is the information is captured, as well as 1 week will be having hourly information, hourly resolution information. So here here either there are 4 options. One is the virtual machine you can reboot using the reboot button. And second thing is, so when there are certain phases in, so first release is 2.0.0, and the second, once the phase 2 is ready, we are going to release. If there is some new OVA, a new OVA file is there, you need to export this data. You should be able to export this data and import back to the new OVA file. So that option is there. You can export. There is to export the cnMaestro data using this export data button, and to import back the cnMaestro data to onboard be released in the next phase. That can, this data can be added back to the new OVA file using the import cnMaestro data. You have to select the file, exported file, and import it. And also there are some existing OVA you can upgrade with the latest release. There is a package we can release. The version can be an like 2.0, 0.1 something. The patch you need to select the file and apply it using the cnMaestro package update. So you don't need to have a new OVA installed again, import and export. The data will be remain same, and only you need to update the new new packages, new modules to the existing OVA file, existing VM, that is. Sorry. And if any issue is there, anytime you want, now we need to diagnose, our team need to diagnose. So we can request to send the tech dump of overall information of the cnMaestro using this export tech dump support data. So that has to be exported and sent to us to analyze further what was the problem. And based on that, we can release a patch where you can upgrade through this cnMaestro package update. And also sometimes with the minimum logs, we are not able to address the issue. So we need to increase the level, like debug and run for a day and see what is the problem. Then you can export the data and give us. So these are the social media information. I think Bruce, from here you can take out.
Yeah, well, thanks, Gopal. Yeah. I appreciate going through that. And just to remind everybody that the cnMaestro is available. If you want to give it a try, you can go on to our support website and get access to it. And there's lots of tools and information available on how to set up the virtual machine if you want to set up an on-premises version, or you can just go and get a cloud account and start to play with some of the other devices like ePMP and point-to-multipoint. Today, cnReach is only available in the on-premises version. So if you're going to use this with cnReach, you'll want to set up the on-premises server. There's lots of information available from Cambium via the different social media outlets. So you can see here some different links to LinkedIn, Twitter, others. And then I always recommend that people go, if you go to the next slide, Gopal, I recommend people go to the community where there's lots of information about not only cnReach and cnMaestro, but you can ask questions if you have a particular need for information about a particular product. That's always a good resource in addition to our support site for deployed networks. So again, thanks everybody for joining. If you have any questions, you can follow up with us on the forum. And again, thanks to our presenter Gopal for the interesting presentation on cnMaestro. So thanks everybody.
Thank you everybody.